It looks like we are live now. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Or whatever it is where you're tuning in from today. This
Welcome.
is Marie and Jerome today with you from the Bonsai Supply. And we are going to be working on this maple today. So if you are in the room right now with us, please let us know in the comments where you guys are from, where you guys are tuning in. We would love to read where all of you are from. And for those that might not notice, so we are the owners of the Bonsai Supply. Jerome, can you tell us a little bit more about you?
About me, okay.
Yeah.
So let's see where to start. I was born and raised in Switzerland, and I learned bonsai from my mom. Actually, she lived in Japan and she picked up bonsai there on one of her travels, and then she taught me growing up. And then in 2015, I started to get very serious about bonsai, and that's when I also met Mari. And one thing led to another, and we started the Bonsai Supply together.
Yeah, I love it.
And then we wrote a book. Yes.
And the journey continues. So, for
Yes.
those that have tuned in before with us, we're trying something a little different today. I'm going to be behind the scenes, but that's going to allow me to give you some close ups on Jerome's work. So, it's
Okay.
going to be a fun one. Please feel free to ask a lot of questions. I'm going to be reading those questions so Jerome can answer those. Could be related to the tree that he's working on or any other bonsai question that you might have. And this demo, we do it once a month, every third Wednesday, so you guys know that's our new schedule. And the finished tree goes on an online auction on our website, thebonsaisupply.com. So if you guys are in the United States, you are able to get the finished tree shipped right to your home. We're gonna have a 48 hours auction on our website, thebonsaisupply.com. So yeah, we're very excited for this one. We got a really nice material. So tell us more about this, love.
Yeah, so this is a lace leaf Aesopomatum, so Japanese maple. And the lace leaf is not really a Japanese maple that is used too often for bonsai. And I do not understand why, because they are phenomenal trees. This one in particular is a weeping one, so it naturally weeps. You can see some of these branches here, they naturally weep, which is really cool because all the new growth that's going to come from this tree is going to come out and naturally start to weep. So today what we're going to do is give this guy its primary styling, but then from there you can really develop this tree with the clip and grow technique. So if you don't like to wire, you're not really good at it, this will be the tree for you because you can just develop it with the clip and grow method. Now what I like about the lace leaf maple so much actually is the leaf. It's really cool. It is kind of like it has like I want to call it like fingers. Like it looks like a hand has like 5 fingers. Here you can see that. And the lace leaves, they naturally grow very slender and tall, and they naturally start to twist as they get older a little bit. But also when we create this style right here, we want to create a very like feminine, slender, elegant looking tree. And that's what we're going to do here today.
All right. I love it. And I see also we are going live on TikTok and on our YouTube channel.
Okay.
So welcome everyone in the room. Make sure that you ask questions so we can interact with you. I don't see any questions at the moment. Everyone is a little shy today.
Well, then let me tell you what I'm going to do right now.
Let's do it.
All right. So the first step that I do with a piece of material like that, I took a bonsai stand from the backyard, which I turn upside down, and I use this stand to kind of give me the angle that I want to use with this tree. Because right now it is pretty straight, but if we change the angle a little bit on the tree, it naturally becomes so much more elegant right away. And then once I have figured out kind of the slant that I want to use, I just go through and remove everything that's dead. So every tree, when you buy it, it always has a few dead branches. So I just go through and remove those. And that's basically the first step that I'm going to do here.
All right, and let me do a little close-up of that.
Mm-hmm.
I really love the shape of the leaf. That is so awesome.
I mean, it's really cool. This is the type of tree that you would see in like a landscape pot. And even in a landscape setting, it has that very elegant feel to it, you know? And yeah, I like these trees very much. So this tree is actually producing seeds right now. Here, I'm going to show you one. So this tree is starting to produce the seeds right now. Here you can see them. Once they start to turn brown and kind of dry up, the seed pods will fall on the ground and then basically root new trees. However, on this tree, I want to remove all of these seed pods. Even though they look really cute, I still want to remove them because a tree spends so much energy trying to produce these seed buds or flowers. And right now we are in the styling phase, but we also want to develop this tree. So therefore, I do not want it to grow any more seeds so that it can focus its new growth on producing new branches and new leaves.
And if you were to use the seeds, how would you go about it?
You know, that's a very good question. So we get this question a lot, right? Like, how do I, what kind of stratification do I do on the seeds to germinate them, yada, yada, yada. So all of these questions. What I do is so I leave them on the tree, and once they start to turn brown, let's pretend these are brown, I would just take them like this, put them in a pot with soil, and I always use our all-purpose soil because it has a lot of aeration that can get into the soil. And then I just leave them in here, keep the soil moist, and then in the spring, new shoots will come up all over the pot. And so I only produce grow trees from fresh seeds.
I see.
Yeah.
And I see a question on TikTok.
Okay.
Is this the type of lace leaf maple that will turn a burgundy red?
So I was told that this tree in the fall does turn a darker red. That's what I was told. So I was told that the leaves came out red and then it turned green. Now there's a lot of different varieties of the lace leaf. Like some lace leaves stay red throughout the year and some stay green throughout the year. Now I was told that this one actually came out red and then turned its leaves to green. And then in the fall it will turn it back to red.
Yeah, and talking about maples, so is it true that maples is your favorite species, Jerome?
You know what? It is one of my favorite species now. There's nothing, I mean, what's not to love? But I do love all deciduous trees, and actually lately I have found a new love for junipers. So favorite species, I would say definitely one of my top 3, I would say.
All right, and I know we dedicated a whole section as well in our new book about maples.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely encourage everyone, if you already have the book, you might know what I'm talking about. And if you have not, you are up for a treat.
I mean, what I like about maples so much is that they are so easy. Like, they're so forgiving. Just make sure you water them, don't let them dry out, and they really grow themselves, basically. Like, they're such fun trees. I really love them. And what's actually cool about the seeds off of a maple tree is that inside these seeds, there's multiple different cultivars. So, for instance, the mother tree has green leaves, but some of the seeds, the leaves can be completely different. They can have a red color, they can be smaller, the leaves can be larger. It's actually quite interesting to see. I grew a lot of trees from seeds from the Arakawa, which is the rough bark maple, and it was really cool to see because some trees, the mother plant had, leaves about this size, but in some seedlings, the leaves are like smaller than a quarter, like they're super miniaturized. So it's really cool. So with one tree, you get a lot of different varieties, different leaf sizes, different trunk color, etc. So it's really cool.
Yeah, no, it's an amazing species. And I see also a question, what's the age of this maple?
You know, I would say this tree is probably around 5 to 6 years old. That would be my guess. It was grown as a bonsai, so it was in a smaller container this entire time. So it could probably be even a little bit older than that.
Yeah, well, I mean, they
What do you
grow
think?
they grow slower, so yeah, probably go on that
They do
even
grow and thicken up slower
more
for
than,
sure.
yeah.
Well, let's say between 5 and 10 years. I think that's a comfortable, age to
Yeah.
give.
Yeah, no, I love it. And I see doesn't matter if they're grafted.
So sometimes it does matter. It depends on what the graft is that they use. Like sometimes they use a more aggressive species at the bottom when they do a graft, and then that's a problem. But if it's not a more aggressive species in terms of growth and thickening, then it's not really a problem if it's done correctly. Um, the reason why it would be a problem is if the main tree is more aggressively growing, it will thicken up much faster. And then you start to like develop like that bulge in here somewhere where the graft was. And then that doesn't look too nice.
Okay, and I know there are actually a lot of people that are joining in right now, so I
Mm-hmm.
would just wanted to um, do a quick summary of what we have done. This is a demo uh, for a maple, and the finished tree will be auctioned online on our website, thebonsaisupply.com. And you can participate if you are in the United States, and this is gonna go for about 48 hours. And can you repeat what you are going for with this tree?
Yeah, of course. So this is a lace leaf Japanese maple, and it naturally has on the smaller side, I would say the leaves are. So they're fairly small already. And this is a weeping lace leaf. So therefore, I'm obviously going to continue turning this into a weeping style. But I want this tree to be very elegant, and I want it to be like feminine in a way. Like even the pot that we're going to choose for this tree, I want it to be light and airy in here. So that's kind of what I'm going for right now in here.
Okay. Let me see. And in the front, we didn't. I don't think we talked about the front a little
So
bit. How did you pick
right,
the
so
front?
the front, I know it's either going to be this side as the front and keep this as a back branch, or have this as a front and have all of this growth here pretty much in the back. I don't know really which way I'm going to lean just yet. I just know what should not be on the tree, and I start to wire and start to place the branches, and that kind of tells me what the front is. Generally, though, I would start off by looking at the root spread, and that kind of helps me determine what the front is going to be. However, since this one is so special and I want to create that light airy feel, I haven't really decided yet on the front. And what happens a lot is that when I do decide on the front and I'm done styling, sometimes the back looks better than the front. It happens all the time.
I love when you have like pretty much two fronts, or yeah,
Yeah.
all around looks great.
It doesn't
So
get
that's-
much better
you
than
get
that,
lucky
you know.
there. Yes.
I always say it's better to have two fronts than two backs on a tree.
Okay. Yeah, that's how it too. All right. So I see a great question, which actually gives us the opportunity to talk a little more about this species and the type of species it is. Because I see someone asking, do you know of any maples that can grow in the tropics?
So there is a red maple that can grow in a tropical climate, but it's not as much of an elegant tree as like the Japanese maple is. Not even close. The growth is different, and I would say in some climates, like let's say in Orlando, you can actually grow trident maples. However, just because that it means that you can grow them somewhere, doesn't really mean that they will develop really healthy and the way that you would want them to. So
So what is the best environment for this tree?
I would say a temperate climate. So I would say um, you do not really want to grow Japanese maples if you are below Georgia. I mean, I would say it has to get to a freezing temperature, definitely. The trees have to naturally lose their leaves. So whatever climate that may be, um, but everything north of Georgia, you can definitely grow Japanese maples.
And what does it mean, temperates, for those that don't know?
So temperate trees are trees that go to sleep, basically, that require a dormant period. So tropical trees, for instance, they do not require a dormant period. They can grow throughout the year, right? They might rest for a little bit and then they continue to grow. And it's not detrimental to them to continue to grow because that's just what they do. But temperate trees, is vital for them to go to sleep and lose their leaves and go dormant for I think it's 100 days or 90 days, somewhere around there, that is required for them to go dormant in order to be happy.
Okay. And I see another question about seasons. So with
Okay.
such a cold spring, none of my maples, Japanese mountain or silver, have leafed out yet.
Okay.
They have buds but no leaves. Should I be worried?
So if they have buds, you should not really be worried. I obviously don't know your climate, but it sounds like you are in a colder environment than I am in Georgia, because here it is really hot and everything is growing like crazy already. So if they don't bud out, but like they don't leave out, but they have buds, technically I would say there's nothing wrong with them. But I don't know your climate and I don't know the health of the tree, right? But I would say I think it should be pretty okay. But I'm saying that without having actually seen it, of course.
Okay. And those that might be new to our channel, so Jerome actually has study groups once a month, every third Sunday. So if you want to learn how to acquire or how to just have questions about your tree, join this study group. It's a small group. It's a positive environment. And we actually only have 3 more left this year, which is going to be June, July, and August. June is actually on Father's Day, and that one is sold out already. So if
Wow.
you guys want to be part of this elite group, we invite you to join us. You can go to our website, thebonsaisupply.com, under Learn, Study Groups, and you can participate through like anywhere in the world because this is done through Zoom. So just check that out every third Sunday. There are still spots for July and August. So just
How-
have that in mind.
However, we also do private, like one-on-one sessions. So
Yes.
if that time does not work for you, obviously these classes, you can always book a one-on-one session. I don't know if you want to talk a little
Yeah,
more
no,
about
of
that.
course. Yeah, no, that's great. That's pretty much all I have to say. If you prefer a smaller, a private environment, or just gonna make the group classes dates, yes, you can also request a one-on-one session, and those are usually done Fridays and Saturdays, and we'll try to accommodate the best time to meet with you.
Mhm.
Also done through Zoom, so from whenever you guys are from.
So one thing that's really important on this lace leaf is that whoever gets this tree, make sure that you keep an eye on the wire, because Japanese maples are notorious that once the wire starts to cut into the bark, that you will see that wire mark on your branches for pretty much ever. So it never really goes away. So something to keep in mind. So let the branches thicken up, but as soon as you start to see a little bit of scarring, remove the wire immediately.
Okay, I see. Hi, Jerome and Mari. Will my
Hello.
Shishigashira, oh my god, that's hard,
Shishigashira.
survive
Uh-huh.
if I cut the trunk at 9 inches? It's a few years old nursery stock and my air layering isn't working.
You can cut it. I don't know how. Cause Shishigashira is a pretty good tree, a pretty good strong growing Japanese maple. I think you should be fine. However, there's like over 2,000 cultivars of Japanese maples, and not all of them react the same. So in terms of cutting a Shijigashira in half, I'm not sure if it will come back. I'm pretty positive because I've never had one, but I would do it either in the spring when the first growth hardens or in the middle of July when the trees go into a dormant period. However, if you are not sure if your tree can take it, chase the leaves. What that means is on this tree, for instance, if I want to shorten the tree, but I don't know if it's going to resprout, I would just cut it at the lowest branch, right? Leave one branch behind, the lowest branch on the trunk, and then let it resprout from there. It's going to resprout further down than the last branch that you left. And then once the new growth has hardened, you can then cut down to the next lowest branch and next lowest, and just chase the leaves down. That would be the safest way to do it if you don't know how the species reacts.
Okay, and
Man, I like this.
hi Jerome and Mark, can you talk about maple care when temperatures get above 90? Move to the shade, how much direct sun on those days?
So I actually have some of my Japanese maples that are always in direct sunlight. Even in the summertime when it gets really hot, and here in Georgia it gets really hot. The only thing that happens on my Japanese maples that I get a lot of leaf scarring or leaf scorching from the heat, but it is not hurtful to the tree, right? So that's me because I have some very big trees that I cannot move. Now, if you have smaller trees and you can move them, as soon as you start to see a little bit of leaf scorch, what you can do is take your tree and move it in the afternoon shade. And during the summer months, some maples, or actually all maples, you can even leave them in like filtered light from the morning through the afternoon, even in, the whole day basically. Or you can leave them in full sun and then move them when it starts to get hot. It's really up to you in terms of like how much work you want to put into it, right? And then, for instance, Mari says if I ask her for help, I have to pay her for a new pedicure. So that's why, oh, manicure, right? That's the fingernails?
Both.
Both. Okay, there you go. And that's why I just leave them where they are.
And I see a question from TikTok.
Oh, but I'm sorry, I forgot to mention something. I'm sorry. So if you defoliate your trees in the middle of the summer, move them into the shade until the leaves have resprouted again completely. Otherwise, you will experience sunburn on your branches, and that will also never go away. Now you can go ahead. Sorry about that.
That's looking so nice.
Oh man, I'm in love.
And actually, the next question here on TikTok: why do you put wire?
Yeah, so we use wire kind of like a painter uses a brush. We use the wire. That's like our artistry tool, right? We use this to shape the tree. So today, and if you're joining a little late, you might have not seen this, but all the branches were kind of not really placed where I wanted them to be placed. So I used this aluminum wire to wrap it around the branches, place the branches exactly where I want them to be, and then once the branches start to thicken and start to bite into the wire a little bit, I can remove the wire and the branches will stay in place. So it's a very useful tool to use in bonsai for sure.
Yeah, I feel the easiest way to explain it for me is to say they're braces for trees.
Okay, that works. I like that actually. That works too.
They mold the shape like your teeth. All
Yeah, that's actually, it's like Invisalign, okay?
Yeah, well, not so invisible, but yes. When is the best time to dig out a tree from the ground?
It depends on what type of tree it is.
I guess let's just talk about maples.
Okay, maples, I love it. So I do have a video on our YouTube channel where I dug up a gigantic Japanese maple. So I recommend that you check out that video. And I think it's only like 2-3 weeks back on the channel, right? So it's very easy to find. However, the short answer would be in the spring as they start to wake up.
Yeah, and for the non-believers, we have news for you. The tree is spreading out and is so happy, this maple. We're actually very excited to share updates. There are updates coming up for most of the trees that we have worked on lately. So that maple is one of them. So you're going to see how it's healing nicely.
Oh yeah, that tree is on fire.
Literally.
Oh yeah.
Is red.
It is red and it is growing really fast.
Yeah. And let me see. Okay, so I have this interesting question. You might like it because they're saying that you look very young.
Well,
So you
well.
seem to be very young and
Thank
know
you.
a lot on trees. How long have you been doing it and how did you get into bonsai?
So I kind of grew up doing bonsai. Well, first of all, thank you very much for your compliment. I very appreciate that. So I grew up doing bonsai because before I was born, my mom, she was on a world trip and she traveled through Japan and she had to stay there for a few years to get some money to continue to travel. And she worked at a bonsai nursery of all places. And so I grew up learning bonsai from her. Um, the reason why I know so much about trees is because I'm obsessed with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good way to put it for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the cool thing about bonsai, well, it's a cool thing, but it's also a dangerous thing, right? Because, like, now I don't have a lace leaf maple in my personal collection, but now I'm working on this one and I'm falling in love, so now I gotta have one. And that's what the problem is. And then when I go to a bonsai show and I see somebody has a cool juniper, let's say, or a cool crepe myrtle, then I gotta have one too. And that's really the problem, but also the cool thing about bonsai.
Yes.
Yes.
So how's it saying? Like you can't have only one, like potato chips, something like that?
Yes. So one of our good friends, Rob Kempinski, said once that bonsai is like potato chips. You can't just have one. And I love that saying.
Yeah.
Because it's so true. But it's also funny because this one over there that's behind the cameras today, she always tells me, I think we have enough trees right now. And then we're at the nursery, and then she's the one encouraging me to get more trees. She's like, wow, look at this cutie, we need this.
I mean, sometimes the tree just finds you and you cannot do anything about it.
Well, I'm not complaining. I'm very happy that you are like that.
Yeah, and okay, changing the maples a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I see a question about a desmodium.
Okay.
I believe I already responded. But anyway, can a desmodium be watered every day in your bonsai soil in South Florida?
Oh, it has to be watered every day.
Yes, especially.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So desmodium is a bluebell. It's a beautiful tropical bonsai tree with beautiful flowers. You have to water all of your trees, no matter your climate, always in the morning before it starts to warm up. So I water all of my trees daily at around 9 a.m. And that's for several reasons. Number one, because that's when I take a break from work, right? And I take my second coffee. Well, I take my first coffee of the day, and I go and water my trees and just make sure that everything is okay. Some trees require more water than others, but you do want to make sure that you water them all before it gets too hot in the day.
Yes. Yeah. All right, and yeah, that reminds me that if this is your first time watching us, we offer bonsai soil and fertilizer. That's something that even if you have watched multiple times, we actually get a lot of people coming up to us in events and things and be like, "Oh, you guys sell fertilizer and soil?" So we're like, "Yeah." So we just wanted to put that out there too, so if you guys need soil, bonsai soil, or fertilizer for your bonsai trees, give us a try. The Bonsai Supply.com and also on Amazon, Home Depot, Walmart. What else?
I think that's it.
All right.
I think that's it. However, some other great news to share with you all is that we actually are onboarding to a Home Depot in Canada. So in just a few more weeks, you will also be able to purchase our soil for the same price as in the United States in Canada, which is really cool.
Yes, I know our Canadian friends always have that extra charge on shipping and all the things.
Exactly.
So we're so excited that we're going to be able to offer you Prime in Canada. So our Canadian friends.
So it's definitely really cool. It's like she said, because you don't have to pay for the import taxes anymore, and you get your orders within 2 days. So that's phenomenal.
Yes.
So very happy to announce that.
I
And
love it.
yeah, I mean, so also what I was trying to say about the watering, and I kind of got lost because I was so in the tree here, is that get into a rhythm with watering your trees, right? So always water in the morning, always check your trees, because trees kind of get used to your watering schedule, right? So they know, oh, water is coming, they can prepare themselves for it. And if it's like one day you water in the morning, the next you water at night, that's detrimental for your trees, and your trees will not grow well. Also, always water more than you think. Always water more. Before you walk away from your tree, hear my voice tell you once again, let me give it some more water.
That's all. I would just add to that as long as it is in bonsai soil.
As long as it is in good bonsai soil, for sure, yeah.
So what's the difference between bonsai soil and the soil that we see right now, loves? So
You mean in here?
yeah. So
Okay, so this is just pre-bonsai soil, right? It's like black nursery soil, and that's just used for a short amount of time. I would not continue using this soil when starting to train this tree, because I want this tree to now start to grow much happier and much healthier. And in order for the tree to be able to grow healthier, happier, and stronger, I need to introduce it to much better soil. And bonsai soil works really well that it has at least the two base ingredients, lava and pumice. And the reason why that's so important is because they drain the water more freely, but they also allow for oxygen to get into the soil and aerate the roots, which creates more roots, which makes your trees grow faster, healthier, and happier and stronger at the same time as well. Now, this tree right here, what I would do, whoever gets this tree, I would just do a slip potting. As you can see, all the leaves are already out. So I would just perform a slip potting, right? Now, what's a slip potting exactly? So you basically take this tree, separate it from this container, swap it into a larger container, do not touch the roots, fill it in with good bonsai soil, and then next year in the spring, you can then repot it and remove all of this black soil. And that's basically what I would do with this tree. So now we just have to figure out one more thing with this tree. What kind of pot would you see this in? And by the way, I think that, oh yeah, this is looking hot.
that looks really cute.
I think that this corner right here should be the front. What do you think, Mom?
Oh my gosh, yes.
You like it?
Yes.
So
Wow, I
tell
like
me your
everything.
pot choices. I want to hear you.
Alright.
I want to hear all of you guys' pot choices too.
Yeah, so everyone that is live with us right now, please write in the comments what type of pot do you envision this tree in?
Do not
Big-
say yellow.
It could be glaze. If it's glaze, what color? It could be unglaze. It could be, give us different shapes. Do you see it in a round, in an oval, in a square, rectangle? Like, let us know what you would like to see this tree potted in.
I like this tree very much.
Oh my god, it looks
So-
really, really nice.
What I like about this tree, it has a natural, elegant, and also old feeling to it, because there's no branches down here, which means that there was probably some competing space to the tree at some point, or the tree just got so old that these branches started to die off. And so this has naturally a very, very old type of feel to it. And I love the airiness, and it's like so airy and see-through, right? It's so light and elegant. I really like that about this tree.
Yeah, what do you guys think? It's a whipping style maple. Let me see the comments. I see.
Let me give you a 360.
Oh yeah, let's do a 360 in the meantime.
Oh yeah, this corner is really nice.
Yes,
Beautiful.
I love it. Let's see.
Okay, let's see.
Super nice. Okay, so I think I will use a shallow. Can I go shallow with this?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, so
There's no limitations here.
I would go with like oh my god, a slab type pot actually for this. And since it's whipping like to the right side, I will probably do something at the bottom, like put some, like, you know, I like to put something there.
So this almost reminds me of the American elm that I did on top of the rock on the slab.
Yeah,
I think
exactly. Yeah.
I think if you had a rock in here and had the tree elevated, that would be very beautiful. But I could also see the tree, I think, maybe in a taller pot. I don't know what you guys think, but what do you think about something like this as an option? Like something a little taller,
Ooh.
the blue with the green.
Let me see in the
I
thing
think
on YouTube.
I think that would be kind of hot. I don't know, cause it elevates the tree, right, which makes the weeping more dramatic in a way.
Can you move the tree a little more
The
towards the back? Yes. Yes, I don't have that much reach with the.
How's
Yeah.
this?
Yeah, and move the pot.
Oh, the
too.
pot as well.
Yeah.
See how I'm getting
Can you even like lift it up a little bit?
the tree or
The
the pot?
The pot. I'm trying to. Okay, now I think. Okay, now you guys see it. Ooh,
What do you think? Does it look
that
good?
actually looks really good.
Oh man, I actually like that.
Yeah, I see. Friend on
I mean,
TikTok, he's like, yeah,
It's
I can
not
see it.
really traditional, right? Because Japanese maples always go into shallow pots, but I think this is okay. I think it's fine to break the tradition in a way like that, right? Because it elevates the tree. I think it makes it more elegant, and I think like this pot to me looks very elegant, right? Like in a way
Yeah.
with the hectagon. But I was also
The
thinking
red one, yeah.
this one, yeah. So
Let's
this
see,
is
let's
another
see.
pot that I was thinking of, just because it might look really hot,
Ooh,
contrasting
my
with,
goodness.
with the light green leaves.
I might like this one more.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
So this one it is. I mean, what's cool about this pot is that it has a very unique color. Like you call this fuchsia, no? Like fuchsia. Fuchsia?
Yeah, but this one's kind of like red, like
Pinkish?
wash red. This one.
I think this pot will I think it will take the tree to the next level.
Yeah.
Right, like
Yeah,
it's a nice contrast,
nice.
but then also with the leaves coming out in a light red. I think. What are they saying? Are they
Oh yeah,
liking
so
it,
I
or-
see
We are too-
some options are orange oval, blue
Okay.
rectangle,
Okay.
dark gray oval, unglazed drum pot,
Ooh.
round or hexagonal pot, aqua round. All right. So a white tan round. Okay, I like
But
it.
do you? What
So it
about
looks like
this?
round is well. There's some rectangles too.
Are
but
they
round
liking
looks-
this or?
I
they're
really
not
like it. Just for fun, let's do a yellow one.
Great.
Yellow one, please.
I think that's the biggest yellow we have left, because somebody used them on other things.
Somebody.
However, though, I might have another idea too. What are you thinking? I mean, obviously bigger. At least
Yeah.
a 10-inch pot.
It doesn't look bad.
Really?
Definitely.
It has
Yellow
that
is
jade.
like goes well with pretty much everything.
That's why I always say I like it. It's an easy choice. What about? Okay.
I think the red one wins. Okay, the last one to see. Oh, the white. Okay.
What do you think?
Yeah, that actually looks really nice too.
For me, I think the pink one that you chose is the nicest.
That's the
one.
most unique.
And I'm not saying that because you're my wife. I really do like it.
All right. So what is the? Okay. So everyone, this tree is going to go on an auction, online auction, on our website, thebonsai.supply.com, in about 30 minutes or so. So make sure to check if you want to participate. If you are in the US, this is for the United States participants only, and it's for 48 hours. So what is the upkeep, or what is the care of this tree if someone wins it
Okay.
in 48 hours?
So I would recommend that you, if you're in a tropical climate, I would stay away from this because it will not survive. The upkeep is, I keep this tree in full sun, and I just check the soil every morning. And that's really it in terms of like how to keep it alive. Just make sure it doesn't dry out. The more it starts to grow, the more water it needs. It doesn't have to dry out in between waterings if it is actively growing. That's something important to know. And I use our all-purpose fertilizer on this, which is a chemical one. I just sprinkle the pellets on here. And then what I would do, because it's going to get bushy, right? So once it starts to grow out and start to get bushy and heavy, you want to kind of lighten up the canopy and thin out the canopy so that there's more light that can get in here. But this tree, I mean, if you're a beginner, this is your tree. If you're advanced, this is your tree. If you love the wire, please go ahead. If you don't like the wire, also perfect, because I put the main structure down. From here, you can take this with clip and grow, directional pruning, and you will be successful because it naturally weeps.
Yeah, and so we were saying earlier that Jerome has a study group, a monthly study group, that is actually going up to August. So June, July, August. June is already sold out for Father's Day. July and August is still open, so you can learn how to do something like this. But you also have one-on-one sessions with him, and also the book. Can you show us, please show us that section where actually we go over how to create a weeping style. Yeah. And that's probably my favorite pictures of this book. They are so beautiful, and I feel they're very detailed, and I'm pretty confident you guys can do it too with ease. So if you don't have it yet, Freestyle Bonsai is on Amazon, and if you do have it already, thank you for the support. Please give us a review on Amazon. We would love to read your thoughts and your feedback.
Yeah, and also while I find this weeping style, remember not to repot this tree. And once you get it, keep it in the shade for probably a week, just so that they can acclimate to your climate. Just because it goes through shipping and your climate is going to be different from mine. So once you get it, water it, mist the foliage, and then after about a week, transition it into full sun. And I'm almost there. I'm at the windswept now.
Yeah, but you did mention you could do it a slip pot.
Right, that's the only thing I would do. And slip potting is important, not to disturb the roots. Very important. So don't get eager and start to rake away the soil and get too excited. Just
it's not the best time of the year to do it.
Right. I'm at the
there
here
you
I
have
am.
It.
Okay.
All right.
So this is the finished product.
Look at that! How freaking beautiful! I said freaking, nothing bad.
Just checking. So here you can see it has a little story about. Can you see it everywhere?
Yeah.
So it has a little story about the weeping style, like how it would naturally occur in nature, for instance, and then also how you would go and approach a tree like this, right? How do you create a weeping style? Let's say with an American elm, which is not necessarily a weeping tree. How do we create it? So we go through the foliation, branch selection, how to wire, and then if you follow step by step, your tree will end up looking like this. And this tree was in one of our latest YouTube videos where I planted this on top of a rock in a shallow slab, and it looks really, like she would say, freaking awesome.
I personally love weeping style, so this is a great style to practice, and we hope you enjoyed today's demo. As a reminder, this tree will go on our website in about 30 minutes or so. You are able to bid for this tree for the next 48 hours if you are in the US, and you can get it shipped to your house.
And I need to get a lace leaf now.
Any last minute thoughts?
No.
Parting words of advice?
No. I think I said it all, really.
Okay, so everyone, if you get this tree or if you're watching this video, we hope you enjoy it. And if you have any questions, if you're watching this video later, please feel free to write in the comments. We would love to read what you think.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. Well,
all right,
enjoy the rest.